Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Bibbs, Alonso, welcome to the season finale of the first half of the third season of Hannibal. That's how I'm choosing to treat this episode.
Complicatedly.
Digestivo. Seriously, because I think next week we get season 3.5 begins.
Basically, yeah. I mean, there was even talk for a while of doing Red Dragon as like a mini-series between seasons at some point, but instead it's just the second half of season 3.
Right.
And that's going to be a major jarring shift.
But let's talk about this one.
But let's talk about this because oh crap.
Oh man.
Oh
man. I think that if this had been the season opener, then I mean maybe they would have canceled the show anyway, but I think a lot of the people who were very like, what is this? They're all whispering at each other and nothing's happening. If that was your take on the early episodes, this is the stuff you've been waiting for.
This is the grand guignol kind of stuff. This is
the grandest.
This is some and a lot of it is taken from the book. And the pig thing was not.
I was going to ask.
The pig thing is new.
Oh, God.
I think that is the creepiest thing the show has ever done.
You know, it's top 5 for sure, but I think so. I definitely, I remembered last season the guy coming out of the horse.
Yeah, this is sort of a version of that, but it's worse because it's a baby.
Yes.
And it grew in there. The surrogate pig mom, which tells you a lot about what Verger thinks of women.
Yeah. And Margot, at least.
Margot especially, but doesn't seem to have too much respect for Alana Bloom.
Not so much.
That is just the horror, the sadism, the complete detachment
lack of humanity,
from reality, the complete lack of humanity. Is so great, and I know it's you know, this is why I like horror. I am shocked, I am disgusted. Although the second he said, you know, I already got a mom and is on the ranch, and I'm like, oh God, it's a pig, isn't it? Like I saw it coming, but it was so creepy, I didn't care.
I thought maybe they had somehow like put it into Ilana without her knowing it, you know. That was my thought.
That would have been interesting.
That she was somehow the unwilling or unknowing surrogate.
That almost would have been romantic in this show.
Oh yeah, by this standard,
I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna have your incest baby.
So all right, let's unpack. All right, so
that's
we have
gonna be a great quote taken out of context.
Yes, we have a little bit of flashback to get us to how the last episode ended. So we see Potsy and his men come storming in.
That wasn't Potsy. It was the other. It was the Potsy's dead.
Oh right, sorry.
Potsy's dead.
Forgive
no,
me.
it's the other corrupt
Italian
police.
constable.
Yeah.
So taking them away.
The shot of Jack screaming from Will's POV as his vision is distorting. Beautiful. Just creepy and surreal.
Sono del FBI.
Yeah, Brian Fuller tweeted that was based on Francis Bacon painting.
Oh, interesting.
So, and I totally was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Yeah, just horrifying. Yeah. Fantastic.
So, and then, you know, it's looking like Jack's about to get his top cropped, and then a lady train pusher shows up. Thank you. I can never remember anyone's name. Chiyoh shows up, you know, and snipers the dudes and takes the needle out of his neck so that he can get out. At some point, I'm thinking, how much does Jack have to keep pretending to be dead? But I guess he's at least got to get out of Italy.
He's got to get out of Italy. The Italian police are all corrupt in the show. And he's got to get the hell out of there. He doesn't know who he can trust. And, I mean, Chiyoh beats him to America. And my first thought was, how did that happen? But he's also got to get medical attention he had his, his Achilles tendon cut.
Right.
He's got to get that looked at.
I think so.
They're not going to let him on a plane if he's just spilling blood all over the first class.
Well, you don't necessarily bleed from that. I mean,
I'm pretty sure there isn't not blood in there.
Well, no, clearly yes. But that's hemorrhaging. That's all inside. Anyway.
So they end up at Muskrat Farm. I guess at some point someone tends to Will's wound. Eventually. He's got a thin hole in his skull, like here.
Although the thing is, like, depending on how deep it went, one thing I know from there's some movie where somebody talks about. And I've actually was in a car accident as a child, so I can attest to this. Head wounds bleed a lot, even if they're minor. So it may be that the actual incision was minor, but that he just bled out like crazy because it was a headliner.
So they go to Muskrat Farm, and it turns out that Verger's plan is so much better than it even originally was. Because originally he was just going to eat Hannibal. Great. Now he's going to put Will's face on and eat him with. Oh, that is so great. This show has dramatically improved the plot of the book Hannibal.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, like I like Hannibal. The writing is very beautiful and very creepy and haunting. The plot is really stupid a lot of the times, and this is so much more organically put together. Things actually pay off in a way that is so much more satisfying. And though there's a lot that's still in there, like Margot killing Verger and Hannibal saying, "Oh, you can just blame me, I don't care." Like all that's in there, but yeah.
But just that sequence where you've got the pig being cut open and the face being that we don't yet know isn't Will's being cut off. It was that was a whole lot of for me.
Blazing.
Totally. So yeah, so then now in the book when Margot kills Verger, does he have an eel go in his mouth?
I don't remember if it goes in his mouth, but he is killed by his pet eel.
Okay.
He is he does have a cattle prod shoved up his posterior to harvest his sperm. But there's different
milking.
Milking is a great way of putting it. Thank you. But there are differences. In the book, Margot was a bodybuilder. In the book, she was dating someone else. In the book, Barney from The Silence of the Lambs, his old guard, was there as well.
In the books, Alana Bloom is a man, right?
In books, Alana Bloom is a man and not an important character. In the book, I think Alan Bloom is referenced after Red Dragon, but I don't even remember if he has any dialogue of consequence. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, but it all comes together more or less the same way. Will gets to bite Cordell's cheek off, which was delightful.
Well, the cheeks are real good,
The cheeks are good. In fact, in Hannibal Rising, especially the book, they talk a lot about how when Hannibal started becoming a cannibal, he learned that the cheeks were very particularly delicious, and there would be like severed heads with cheeks missing throughout like Lithuania or whatever the hell he was. So that's that. I'm sure that's a totally intentional shout out. Knowing Brian Fuller, it probably is. But I think the best part of the episode has got to be the finale when they finally catch Hannibal. Because how do you catch Hannibal? When he wants to be caught.
Right. Well, when you want to get rid of him.
Right.
When you want him out of your life, that's when he's not going anywhere.
Oh my God, I love he fucking gives himself up to the FBI out of like spite or out of like, oh, I know better than you. I want you to I never want to see you again. I never want to know where you are. I give up. Put me in public.
So you know where I am.
At all times.
Yeah,
oh my God, who hasn't had an ex like that? Am I right?
Ladies? No, well, that's exactly like the one person that wanted Hannibal to kill her, he wouldn't, and it was Jack's wife. So yeah, he's a bitch. Anyway,
I'm doing this because I want to, and not because you told me.
Meh.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we've gotten to an exciting place.
We do.
And yeah, now it's Red Dragon time, and I'm sure all the more people to be annoyed that the show isn't exactly like the book. But whatever, who cares?
It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. It's a remix. They can't do the same thing all over. They can't because everyone will know every single twist. So I think it should be fun to catch up on it. I'm looking forward to Richard Armitage as the Red Dragon. I interviewed him at a Comic-Con, and he told me a lot about his performance and like how he based a lot of it on Buto, which is this really creepy, wonderful Asian dance. It's all about having like a thing inside you. It's totally awesome. Cool. So it should be really, really fun. This episode was fantastic. We could go on longer about time is a factor. So.
Just think about Cordell's face falling off of Mason Verger's face.
Yeah.
That's going to stay with me for a while. So we'll be back next week. Join us.